Donc faites attention.
Oui.
Mutez-vous si vous parlez pas. We are live now.
Hello, everyone. Hello, students. How are you today? We are happy to welcome you to this new coding session. I hope you all um, are happy to be here, are excited to be here. So I'm Deepti Chander. I'm the president of E-mma organization. So today, as you know, we're gonna again code, and today we're gonna code in Scratch. Last time we coded in other coding languages. So as you know, every time we change the languages. So we are excited today to make a maze game. So you're gonna know more about the maze game in few coming seconds. So before we start the coding session, I just want to remind few um, rules for the coding workshop of today. So things are going smoothly and things are going well from both sides. So kids and children, students, everyone who are watching this live, please make sure during the coding session to ask all the questions you're having in the YouTube chat. We are here to moderate the chat and respond to all the questions you will be having. So do not hesitate to share your question in the YouTube chat. And also, we will be posting all the links, useful links for the coding session. So please make sure to check the chat on regular basic times because you will need to click on the different links we will be sharing in the YouTube chat. So just make sure that you have the YouTube chat open in front of your eyes. So thank you, students, and we will be starting this coding session. We will be starting by, as you know, in Scratch, looking at the first video. And before we look at this video, we will invite all the students to click on the Scratch link that we will share with you in the YouTube chat just now. Please, all the students, click on the YouTube link that we are sharing with you in the chat. As you can see, students, there is a link which is posted in the YouTube live chat. Can you please click on this link and the Scratch platform will be open. Please click on the link. We are giving you 2 seconds, two little seconds to click on the link, but please click on the link. Sometimes the link take a few seconds to get open, which is normal. So please wait the link to be open, but just click on the Scratch link. I hope everyone's got the link. If there is any issue, please let us know in the chat. But again, we have posted again the link you need to open. Please click on this link and open it. So for students who are saying they didn't receive any link, as I said again, and I'm repeating, the link is posted in the YouTube live chat. Please click on the message we are posting. My last message was please open the project here and it contains the link. Please click on my message and click on the link. So let me check in the chat if everyone got the link open. So all the link we are posting because we are different moderators. I'm not alone. There is many moderators in the YouTube live chat, other people of E-mma team who are moderating the chat. So the link we are sharing is the same link. We are just sending it many times because we do not want the link to be lost in the messages, all the messages that we are receiving. So please click on the scratch link. Okay, so I can see, so I'm posting the link for the last time. I can see that you students already opened the link. I can see in the messages. Please also pay attention that in case you have lost the link or you came late, on the top of the chat you have a message of E-mma, which is a ping message, and in this ping message you have the scratch link. So in case you lost it, you can click on this ping message on the top of the chat, and you will find again the link. Okay, students, so let's start the coding session. I hope you all got the scratch link. If not, please post the message and we will be helping you. So before we start coding, we will watch the first introduction video. So I will ask Raja to share the first introduction video.
Hey, and welcome to day 3 of Scratch Games. Today, you're going to explore if statements while creating a maze game. If statements allow the computer to check a condition and decide whether to do something. If statements have 2 parts, an if and a then. They can be read, if this is true, then do this. Take a look at the game Pac-Man as an example. Pac-Man is a classic arcade game from the 1980s. In this game, a Pac-Man character must avoid a swarm of enemies. The Pac-Man character uses if statements in many different ways. For example, if Pac-Man is touching an enemy, then he loses a life. In Scratch, you can express the same kind of statement with the block stack. For example, you could code an if statement that directs the computer, if touching enemy, then change lives by -1. Even the maze in Pac-Man uses if statements. Pac-Man can only move forward if he is not facing a wall. Today, you'll create a game where players guide a sprite through a maze using the mouse. You'll use if statements multiple times. For example, if the sprite touches the walls of the maze, then it changes directions, or if the sprite touches the bug at the end of the maze, then the game ends. Check out the different starter projects and decide which one fits the story your game will tell. To begin, choose one of the starter project links next to this video. Come back to the CS First page and click the green arrow to move on to the next video.
Okay, thank you, Raja. So just for the recap of the video, I see that students are saying in the chat that the video was lagging. So it was lagging, of course, a little bit. I can also see that. So just for the recap, so students, I can give you a recap. So as you can see, we will be coding a maze game. So there is going to be a lot of conditions, if statements that we're going to learn. We also going to see how we're going to overcome the difficulties while coding a game. And so in this maze game, you're going to learn different aspect of programming. So do not panic if you never coded before or if you're not understanding it. It's okay. We're going to go step by step with you, and we're going to help you to create this game together. So do not worry about that. So what we're going to do now is, as I said, we're going to code a maze game. I have give you a quick brief about this game. So we will be starting by looking at the first coding set that we will be doing together. So students, we will watch another video now, and then just after we will be coding with you. So let's start by watching the second video.
In this video, you will program the player sprite to follow the mouse pointer. To start, select the player sprite. Next, click the motion menu and drag out a Go To Mouse Pointer block. When you click it, the sprite will go towards the mouse pointer's location. The sprite needs to follow the mouse. That means that the sprite needs to go to the mouse pointer over and over again, not just once. To do that, use the forever block. Now, when you click on this block stack, the sprite will go to the mouse every time. Good. Next, add an event to tell the computer when to run this code. Use a when sprite clicked event, which tells the sprite to follow the mouse pointer when the sprite is clicked. Great. Finally, try it out to see if it works. Click the sprite. Don't click and drag the sprite, but instead click and release it. To stop the program, click the stop sign. Nice job. Now it's your turn. Program your player sprite using a Go To Mouse Pointer block, a forever block, and a when this sprite clicked event.
Okay, thank you, Raja, for the second video. So students, now please listen to me. You have already opened your Scratch, right? So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna do the first step of this coding game. So as you can see, we're gonna make sure that the um, the the small drawing you see on the screen are gonna follow the mouse. So how we gonna do that? I'm gonna give the mic to Kavan. Kavan will help us and help you to code the beginning of this game. So please, students, code with us. Now we're gonna code. Please code with us. Thank you. Please, Kavan, take the mic.
Okay. So to make the sprite move to the pointer of the mouse, we're going to use in the blue zone. There's going to be motion. We'll find a go to random position. We're going to take this and we're going to modify it so instead of random position, it's the mouse. You can click on the random position, it'll scroll down, and there is a mouse pointer. We'll click that, and we're going to go in the control, the orange blocks, to find the forever loop, so that it always goes to the mouse pointer. We're going to put the blue block inside the orange block. Like so, yes. But that's going to mean it's always going to work when we clicked, like wherever we're playing the game. We want it to run only when the sprite is clicked. So we're going to go into the events, the yellow part on the left. Yes. And click when the sprite is clicked event. We're going to click that and we're going to put it on top of the forever block so that when the sprite is clicked forever, we will go to the mouse pointer. If you see, when we click on the sprite, we then move it. And that's how it works.
So before Kevin, you repeat again the whole part you just mentioned now. I just maybe, yeah, if Raja, you can zoom a little bit on the screen. Thank you. And also, what we forgot to mention is students, as you can see on the top right, there is two button, green and red button. So the green button is there to launch the game and the red button is there to stop the game. So Raja will go on these two buttons with her mouse. So the two buttons on the top, exactly. This is the button to launch the game, the green one, and the red one to stop the game. This is something we forgot to say, so just I'm repeating that. And as you can see, just behind there is a you can see the drawing, you can see the background where there is clouds, there is heart, and so on. So here you're gonna see the result of the code you producing. So the result of the code will be appearing here, okay? And where Kavan just put the blocks, so in this white space, this is gonna be the space where you're gonna do, where you're gonna test all the different coding blocks that you need to have in order to make sure the game is working. And on the left side, you have all your events, you have all the different menus. So as you can see, you have event menu, you have sound menu, you have looks, you have motions, etc., etc. So all these menus will contain blocks, which will help us to create and combine those blocks in order to make a visual functional game. I hope I'm clear. And Kevan, maybe you can explain again what we just did, and maybe we can do it again. So for that, I will ask Raja to take hold the code and delete it so we can come back again. Okay, thank you. So Kevan, can you start again?
We
Thank you.
can. So we can, to make the sprite move, we're going to go into the blue menu, motion, and take the go to random position block. We're then going to modify it so that it uses the mouse pointer. Yes. Afterwards, we want it to move forever, so we will go in the orange menu, control, and take the forever block. We'll put the forever block around the blue so that it moves forever. We can already test it by seeing that the sprite moves always when it always follows the mouse pointer. We can click on the green flag and it follows it. Now we want it to run when the event works, only when the sprite is clicked. So we go into events, the yellow menu, and click when the sprite is clicked. Now when we click on the sprite, it follows it. And we can click the stop button to stop the game. Does anybody in the chat have any questions?
Thank you, Kevan. Just looking at the chat if everything is fine. Is there any questions on this part, or we can move on? Are you are you following this? Are you okay?
So we're done. Wonderful.
So again, we have used 3 sprites. So when the sprite clicked, which you find in the event menu, other sprite we have used is the forever sprite. So we have find it in the control menu. And the last one was go to mouse pointer, and we have find it in the motion menu. So everyone's okay with it? If there is any other questions, please use the chat. Brita is managing the chat, as I can see. She will help you to follow up in the first video steps in case you are late in what we just explained. So do not worry. Please ask your questions and tell us where you are, what is missing, and we can follow up with that. Okay, let's continue. So on the next part, so now we're gonna look at students the third video. So this video gonna help us to do the other steps. So please look at the video, listen to the video, and then we're gonna move forward.
In this video, you'll use if statements to keep the player sprite inside the boundaries of your game. Start by adding an if block inside the forever block already in this program. If statements run code if something is true or false. Every if block needs a condition, which can either be true or false. As you figure out which condition to use, it can be helpful to either say or think about what you want the program to do next. For example, if the sprite touches the boundary, then do something. Use a touching color block from the sensing menu. Then change the color by clicking on the color swatch, then on the boundary in your project. Great, now the computer can make a decision. If touching the boundary color, then. and the then portion of the if then block, program the player sprite to go back to its starting position if it touches a boundary. To do this, use a go to XY block from the motion menu. The go to XY block has two values, an X and a Y. These numbers represent the sprite's position on the screen. If you move the player sprite to where it will start, the values in the block will change to that position. When you click and run this block, the sprite goes to the position it was in originally when you dragged out this block. Before you go any further, test this if statement to make sure it's working correctly. Click on the sprite, and it should begin to follow the mouse. If it touches the boundary, then the sprite goes to the position you set with the go-to block. Great, but there's one problem. The sprite continues to follow the mouse. Remember, the computer will do only what you tell it to do, and you didn't tell the sprite to stop following the mouse. Fix this bug by adding a stop all block to the if statement. When this block runs, all code in the program will stop. Now try it out one more time. Look at that. Now when the sprite touches the boundary, it goes back to the beginning and no longer follows the mouse. To play again, the user clicks the sprite to run this block stack again. Now it's your turn. Make the sprite return to the starting position by adding touching, go to XY, stop all, and if blocks.
So we have watched now another video. The person who will explain this is gonna take the floor and explain to us how we're gonna do what was explained in the video, please.
Oh, yes, sorry, I was muted. I was speaking. So as I said, do not panic, students. As you can see, there is a couple of things to do. So do not worry, we're gonna do step by step. So I'm just gonna call Hortense to do this video with us.
Yes. So for this next part, we want to make sure that our sprite stays in the boundaries, it stays in the line, in the blue part. And to do that, we have to give it a condition, because when we give it the blocks, it does exactly what we tell it to do. So to get the if block, we're going to go in control menu. In the control menu, it's orange. Yes. And then get the if then block. It's not if then else. Yeah, that one, if then. And then drag it right under go to mouse pointer inside there. Yes. So like they explained in the video, what the if then block does is take a condition, check if it's true or false, and then do something. For us, we want to make sure that if it hits a cloud or the white part, then it goes back to the initial position. So our condition is going to be color best. We're going to go in the sensing menu. Sensing, yes. And then take the touching color block. It's the second one. Yes, drag it in that diamond shaped box in between if and then. You have, yes, that one. And right there we have a condition, but we need to change the color. So you click on that circle and then go to the last part, yes. Click on it and it will zoom in on any color that we want. Now we want it to zoom into the white part. Yes. Click there. And then we have a perfect if and then condition. But the problem is we don't have what it's going to do if that condition is true. And so to add what to do after, we're going to go in motion menu. It's the first one. And then we're going to pick the go to XY block. Yes. And then we drag it in after then. Yeah. So what that block does is tell the sprite where it's going to go, its position. So like they explained in the video, the sprite has two positions, X and Y. So for us, we just wanted to go to that specific position if that condition is true. So right about now, if we run the program, it should be able to detect the white positions. Yeah, it goes back up there. Another good thing to note is that the positions that are mentioned there in the go to XY block, we can change it. We can add whatever we want it to be. So for example, if you want to start in the blue section, we can write, for example, there in X, negative 201, for example, negative, yeah. And then for the Y, we can write negative 135, 135, negative 135. Yeah. Try to run it again. You will see that it will change the initial position. Perfect. Yeah. And so right now we have the sprite that can detect the boundaries, but we want it to also to stop everything if it goes back to the initial position. And to do that, we're going to go back in the control menu. Yep. We're going to go down, down and find the stop all block. This one stops all the execution of all these commands. Add it in between there, yes. And that's it. If you run it again, it will stop, back to the initial position and stop everything.
Okay, awesome. Maybe I'm seeing a lot of messages in the chat asking to repeat because this is quite a, would say, complicated part because there is a lot of things to add. Maybe we can start over again.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we can delete the whole if block and start from the beginning.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to go in control, find the if and then block. Yes. This block allows us to check a condition to see whether it's true or false. And for us, our condition is to see whether the sprite is going outside the boundaries, so the clouds. At this point, when we move it, it can go over the white space and the blue space. So to give it a condition, we're going to go in sensing, in the sensing menu. We're going to take the second block, which is touching color, drag it and drop it in the diamond shaped box between if and then. And right now we have a condition, but we need to customize it. So we click on the circle so that we could choose a color. Go at the last option. It will zoom in on any color that we want. For us, we want the white one because it represents the boundaries. We click on it, and now we have a condition, but we don't have what it should do afterwards. And that's what we need to insert in the space between after then. For that, we're going to go into control, motion, and then we're going to take the go to XY block, drag it and drop it in there. So right now, if you run the program again, it will be able to detect the clouds and go back to the initial position. But like they said in the video, the sprite still follows the mouse even after it went back to its initial position. And so to stop that, we will go into control and go down, find a block called stop all. We drag it and put it right after go to XY. And then there, when we move our sprite and it hits a boundary, it will stop and stop following the mouse. So right now, if you run it, yes, and then like it's showing there, it goes back to the initial position and that's it, stops everything, doesn't follow the mouse anymore.
Hortense, there is a good question, and I wanted to ask you also,
Yeah.
why do we use XY position here?
The XY positions allow us to know where the sprite is on the backdrop. So the backdrop, the sprite is represented by those two positions because, for example, if we move it, try to move it, try to move the sprite. And you see down on the right, the XY positions are changing. So this just gives us a specific way to know where the sprite is.
Absolutely. So, students, as you're asking on the chat, and Hortense is right. Once you move the sprite, the position change also, and you can see the numbers changing just here on the screen, and under the sprite position. So you have X, which is modifying, Y, which is being modified. So that's the thing. We need to give the sprite at the beginning a position from where he will start. So as you can see at the beginning, X position is minus 201, 201, and Y position is minus 135, so minus 135. I hope that's clear for every student. In case there is other questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. Brita is here to answer. Um, let's continue. Thank you, Hortense, for explaining it again. So we're gonna move to the next video, and we're gonna then code it with you.
In this video, you will program a winning condition for your game. The user will win the game when the player sprite goes through the maze and catches the goal sprite without touching the boundaries. The if-then statement you'll create will read something like this. If touching the goal sprite, then say, you win. To start, drag an if-then block into the forever loop. Next, add a conditional block. Remember, it's easier to choose the right blocks to create a conditional statement when you think or say what the program should do. In this case, you might think or say, the user will win if the player sprite touches the goal sprite. To make that happen, use a touching block and change the value to goal sprite. Now this reads, if touching the goal sprite, then, the then part is up to you. Tell a computer what to do if the player sprite is touching the goal sprite. It could be something simple, like say, you win. Or it could be something more complicated, like play a yaw sound and make the player sprite glow.
Yeah.
Tinker with your code and find a solution that works for your program. You might have finished programming this activity, but you can still add more to your project. Check out these other CS First member projects and get inspired to add to your own. Now it's your turn. Program a winning condition or celebration using touching and if blocks.
Thank you, Aja. So we're gonna move to the next step. So students, as you can see, we're gonna program the winning condition. So we will be winning only if we are able to avoid the clouds, if the sprite doesn't touch the clouds, and reach out to the end. That means to the heart you're seeing on the screen. So to program this winning condition, I will so ask Manuela to do so.
Yes. Now we will create our winning condition for our game. But how can we do it? It's simple. We will use the forever loop in the control menu.
Sorry, Manuela, can you speak a little bit louder, please? So everyone could hear you.
Yes. To create our winning condition, we will go and select the forever loop in the control menu. Condition here is the user will win if the player sprite touches the goal sprite. To do so, use the touching block in the sensing menu. With touching the first one, the first block, touching.
Touching?
Yes.
Yeah. Where do I put the forever block?
The forever block will be the last block in the whole block. in the first forever block. Yes, here.
Here, after the if condition, if-then condition.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's going to be the, sorry, I made a mistake. It's going to be if, not forever block.
So we don't need this forever
No,
block.
we don't need forever. We need
Yes.
the if.
So everyone, let's just start again.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is the
let's
code
start
that we
again.
have
Sorry.
previously. Yeah, tell me. What do I
We're
need
going
to
to
do?
use the if statement. Yes, in the control menu. If, yes.
So
This
if
one.
then?
There.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then we will go in the sensing menu and select the first block, touching.
Touching mouse pointer, okay.
Yes, that will put in the if statement. Yes, right here.
In the
And
if and then statement in between. Yeah.
Yeah, here. And we will select go, have the value.
Okay, goal. So to select this value, you need to click on
The drop down list.
yeah, the drop down menu, so it will open the goal option.
Now let's move on to the then part. To tell the computer what to do if the goal sprite is touched, select the say block for 2 seconds in the looks menu.
So in the
Right,
looks menu. Yeah.
And we will select the first block. This the first one, yes. They will put in our if statement. Yes, right here. And in the hello, we will replace by you win. Now we can test our program to already see what it does. It's working.
So as you can see, yeah, well, as you can see, the fact that we have put the winning messages and we have reached to the hearts, and the hearts, it's being displaying that we win the game.
Now, if you want to do something more complicated, you can add the start sound block in the sound menu.
Sound menu.
Yes, and select the start
sound. Yes.
Yes, this block. Then we'll put before the say block.
Before the say
here.
block. Yeah. Okay.
And we'll change pop with ya in the drop down list, or record, or let pop.
So for now, we'll just leave pop.
We will just use pop, yes. And change. You can also make the player sparkle by adding the repeat block in the control menu.
Let's test the sound and the you win sentence first. So when I move towards the goal, and I lost. So when I move towards the goal, when I touch the goal, there's a pop sound. I don't know if you can hear it. And then you have you win. That's written.
Also, something that is asked in the chat is, does the sprite need to come back once it touch the hat, the hats? No, it's when it touch actually the clouds, it should be come back at the beginning position. But once it touch the heart, sorry, it is not supposed to come to the beginning position, so we need to make it come back. And so this is what also you need to do. Okay, maybe Manuela, you were saying to put something else. Can you tell us what you wanted to put?
Yes, to make our player a little bit fancy, we can make him sparkle by going into the control menu and adding the repeat block. So, yes. And then we will go into the looks menu and select change color by effects.
Where do I put the repeat block?
You put the repeat block in the if statement.
So
In the
after
last
the say.
position. Yes,
After
here,
the say.
after the say.
All right. Yes.
And now you slide the change color affected in the looks menu.
Change color?
Yes, change color affected by 25.
Okay.
This block.
Yeah, so this is in the looks block.
And we
the
put it
change
in
color,
our
right?
repeat statement. Yes. Now we can test our game to see how it goes. Nothing happened. Oh, yeah.
No, it is changing color. It's green.
It's lagged. Yes. So this is it.
Okay, maybe we can not just not rebooting all the blocks, but maybe you can recap, Manuela, and repeat again what was done. Yeah.
Okay. What was done here is that we created an if statement, and then we set a touching for our if statement. Touching goal. Our goal was the hair cloud. Then we create a message. If we reach the goal without any problems, it will print you win. After that, we inserted a sound if the goal was touched, and then we make our sprite sparkle by changing the color.
Okay, thank you. Just looking at the chat and seeing if there is questions. Uh, is this part fine for every student? Is it okay? So don't forget also, students, in case you missed a part and you are delayed, that's okay, because this session will be available after in replay. So in case you missed a part, you can come after on it, and please continue coding even if you are having mistakes. That's okay, because all the parts are not depending on each other. So if you are having troubles in this part or something is missing, that's okay. Continue with us on the next part and come back after by looking at the replay. Okay, I see that you're saying it's working. Okay, so let's move to the next video. So now what we're gonna do is that we have prepared for you two add-ons to make the game more complicated. So we're gonna do the first add-on, and after we're gonna code this add-on with you. So let's start watching the first add-on.
In this add-on, you'll program the obstacle sprite to spin. If you already programmed the obstacle to grow with another add-on, that's okay. You can do both. To start, click on the obstacle sprite. Then drag out a turn block and click to try it. Perfect. It turned. Next, turn the obstacle forever. To do that, use a forever loop. Whoa, that's really fast. Changing this 15 degrees to something smaller will make it turn more slowly. Try a few options. For example, 5. Then 1. Play around with the speed on your own and find a number you like for your program. Finally, add an event to tell the computer when to start spinning this obstacle. In this example, it's when flag clicked, but use any event that makes sense for your project. Now it's your turn. Program a spinning obstacle using a turn block and a forever loop. Start the obstacle spinning with an event.
Okay, thank you, Raja. So we're gonna do this add-on with Bogdan. Bogdan, can you take care of the first add-on?
Yes, of course. So first, to modify to add this bonus, you will need to select the obstacle sprite. So it's at your bottom right part of the screen. Just right here, yes, click on this. Excellent. Now, first you will need to use a button to turn the sprite. So you can do that by going into the motion menu. Excellent. And then turn by n degrees. You can choose any button you like. It only depends on the direction you want to use, but yes, this direction is fine. So by clicking this once, you can change the direction of the sprite, but we want to do this forever. So yes, first you can set any number you want as the degrees for now. We will test this and modify it later. So first, if you can go in the control menu and select forever block. Excellent. And then wrap it around the turn by x degrees. Perfect. Now, if you click on the green flag to test if it works, it's just above the
event.
screen. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Just yeah.
It's above the green screen. Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
You want me to test it? Yeah.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
speak a little bit louder, please? I think
Sure.
some people are saying they can't hear.
Oh, sorry. Okay, is this better that way?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, excellent. So as I said, we can test this by just clicking on the green flag, sorry, right here, and it should turn. But as you can see, it turns way too much. So yes, first, if you can change the exactly, if you can change the yes.
To test it, we won't use the flag for now. What we can do, because our block is this simple, we just have 2 blocks. To see if our cloud, our obstacle is turning, we just click on the forever block, and you can see that it's spinning, but it's going really fast. So we're gonna make that more simple. Yeah, but then you can continue. Tell me, how do I make it simple?
Sorry, that was not very clear on my end. Well, you can select another number for the degrees you want to turn. So as explained in the video, 1 seems reasonable. So yes, you can say turn by 1 degrees. And then since we want to run the code when we click on the green flag, you can go in the events menu and select the when flag clicked button. That's the first button. And you can put it just above the forever loop. Exactly. Excellent. And here it should slowly turn the cloud, which is maybe a bit better and a bit more user-friendly. Yes?
Perfect. So now our cloud is turning.
Yes. So I will recap because that was not very clear, if that's okay.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Tell us.
First, we want to go into the obstacles menu at the bottom right end of your screen. No, on the other side.
Obstacles menu, yeah.
Yes.
So
you need to make sure this is the right sprites you're interacting with. Okay. Now that this is done, you can. Okay. First, you need to select the turn by any degrees. Select in the motion menu. So
yeah.
this will allow you to turn your little cloud.
Yes. So just since we are repeating, let's remove our block, our code here, and we're gonna do it again just for everyone to understand and have the same thing. Yeah. So tell me, how do I start the bonus?
So select any turn by x degrees button. This one is fine. Perfect. Okay. And we will put yes a forever block as well.
Which is where?
In the control menu.
Okay.
The orange button, exactly. And
the
you
forever
can
block.
The forever block, and you can wrap it around the turn by x degrees. exactly.
Okay.
So now we can go in the events menu.
Yes,
And
events.
exactly. And in the events menu, we can select the first button, which is when a green flag clicked. And we can put it just above the forever loop.
All right.
Now you can test it, but as we said before, it is way too fast that way. So first, you can set it at, for instance, turn by 1 degree or 2 or any number you want. Really, it's up to you to test. But for the sake of this example, we will leave it at 1. And there you have it.
Okay, thank you. So I hope everyone's on the same code and you have did it. I propose that we move forward. Is there anything on this part to do, Bogdan, or is it fine now?
Now it's fine. It should be working.
Okay, so I hope it's working for everyone also. And as Bogdan explain again, we will be just putting 1 degree in order not to make the cloud turn too fastly. So 1 degree would be fine, but you guys can change it if you prefer to make it more fast, but we will keep for the moment 1 degree. And so what we can do now is Bogdan move to the next add-on.
Yes.
And for that, we will see the next video and do the next add-on with you. Let's watch the next video.
In this add-on, you'll program an obstacle that slowly grows using the change size block. To start, click on the obstacle sprite. From looks, drag out a change size by block. Click this block a few times to make the obstacle sprite larger. Use a forever block to make the obstacle keep growing. Test your code by clicking the block stack. That obstacle is really big. To keep it from growing too large for your project, add a set size to block at the beginning of this block stack. That way, the obstacle will start at its original size each time the stack is run. Click the stack to test. The obstacle grows way too fast. The player will never make it past that. Change the value in the change size block to something smaller, like 1. That's slower, but it's still too fast. Try changing the value to something smaller, like 0.3. That's it. That's a much better speed. Add a when flag clicked block to the top of the block stack to make your obstacle grow when the game begins. Now it's your turn. Make the obstacle grow and shrink using change size by, set size to, when flag clicked, and forever blocks.
Okay, so let's watch how to do it now. So Bogdan, can you help us to make it?
Yes, absolutely. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So first, as we did before, first you can delete that part of the code to restart.
Yes. Should we leave the two bonuses to work together, or should we remove it?
Sure,
Maybe we can leave them.
Yeah.
Okay, of course.
So yeah.
So first,
ahead.
you will need to go in the control menu and select forever block.
Okay.
Yeah, for the sake of this example, we will do them both separately so that you can use either one of the other, and then I will show how to use the two at the same time. So okay, you have your forever block, very good. Now you will also need when flag clicked button, so that's in events, I think. Yes,
events.
That's it, events, and that's the first button. And you can put it just above the forever loop, just like before. Excellent. And now we can use change size by n, and it's located in the looks menu. Up, and then you can select the change size by, exactly, change size. change size by 10, and you can put it in the forever loop. Exactly. But as we saw in the video, it is a way too big of a number, so it has been suggested to use 0.3 instead of 10. So I recommend you do that. And since we always want to have the same size when we start the game, we will also need set size 2 in the looks menu. So that's just under the change size by in the same menu.
Okay.
Just right here, exactly. And you can put it in the when flag clicked.
Where exactly? Between when flag clicked and forever block?
Yes, exactly.
Here? Okay.
Absolutely. Very good. And now you can also decrease the value of the set size 2 to 10%.
Okay.
That seems good. And now it should run properly.
Okay. So now when we click on the flag button,
Yes.
our cloud becomes bigger and bigger.
Yes.
The size increases. Okay.
But as you can see, you're using both times the same blocks, which are when flag clicked and forever. So you can it is perfectly reasonable to set size and turn by degrees and change size in the same block. Just for the sake of the example, we separated them so it's more clear for you.
Yes. So since we already have our maze game, we added two bonuses. One bonus is making the obstacle rotate with this block. Another one was making the obstacle becoming bigger and bigger to make the game more difficult. So it's this block, as Bogdan explained to us, these two blocks. So please tell us if you have the same thing, if everything is working on your side, if you have any questions on the chat.
Maybe Raja, Bogdan, can you repeat quickly again what we just did?
Yes,
So we
yes,
can
of course.
follow up on the rest then. Thank you.
Yes, can you remove the second block so we can do it again very quickly?
All right.
For them. Okay, very good. So first, locate the event menu and select the when flag clicked button. That's the first one. Very good. Yes, you can put it here. That's excellent. Then we will need a forever block, which is in control.
Control, yes.
Yes, and the forever block, put it just under the when flag clicked. Excellent. Then we will go in looks.
Looks, yes.
And first you will need a change size by 10. So that's just here. Excellent. And you can put it in the forever loop, exactly. You will also need to change the number from 10 to 0.3 because that way it doesn't grow as fast. Very good. And then we will need to set a fixed size to our obstacle when we start the game so that it's not too big. So to do that, you need to get the set size to 100% button and put it just before the forever loop. Very good. And decrease 100 to 10 so that it is not that's little. Very good. And now it works.
Okay, so we can test it again.
Yeah.
You see, it's rotating and it's getting bigger. Yeah, and when we start the game, it's smaller. It becomes small again. Okay, thank you, Bogdan.
Thank you, Bogdan. I hope students, the new add-on is working. If not, please ask your questions in the chat. So now I ask Raja, can you come back to the slides you were sharing before?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, maybe you can go on the next slide. And yes, thank you. So students, please pay attention now. We need you to listen to us for a few minutes. So as you know, at the end of every coding sessions, we want to first tell you that you had worked very hard to make um, the things possible and to make the game work from your side. So we want to congratulate all students for working hard with us in order to learn coding, which is super important now. And so we want to give you the coding certificate that we give you at the end of every coding session. So I would invite all the students to click on the link that we will post in the chat just now. So certificate.emma.in. So we will be posting the link just now. Please, all the students watching the live, check the link in the YouTube chat. We are posting the link. Brita, can you post the link? So everyone, thank you. So as you can see, the link was posted. Please click on the link that was posted just now. Please click on the certificate link. We are posting it to you. Please click on it. As you can see on the link, certificate.emma.org. Please, once you open it, exactly, thank you, Raja. Raja is showing you on the screen. She opened the link, and as you can see, there is 3 columns that need to be fulfilled. So you have the first name, last name, and the workshop code. Please start by putting your first name. Please put your first name, last name. Raja will be doing it also. Yeah.
And for those of you asking about the code, the workshop code, we posted it on the YouTube chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you can see, the code is in the chat to get the certificate. So I repeat the code, and Raja gonna show it on the screen. So it's CS144IN. So CS144IN. Please click on the certificate link and put the code. Once you put the code, please students look at the screen we are showing to you. Please look at the screen. So Raja will click on the submit button. Can you click on the submit button, please? Yes, please click on the submit button, Raja.
Yes, I clicked on the submit button.
Okay.
I have my certificate now.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so as you can see here, you have on the top of this page, you have the E-mma social network. So please go, Raja, on the top of this page. No,
Yes.
top.
Yes, I'm at the top of the page.
Okay, now it's fine. Okay, we didn't see it yet on the YouTube live. Okay, as you can see, so there is the E-mma social networks here, the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Please, students, we ask this to you. Please share with us the pictures of you coding this game, or pictures of you holding the certificate, which we will share on our social networks. We will share it, so please share this with us and tag us on the social network by using the hashtag code at home. Please use the hashtag code at home. Please share the pictures with us. Students, it's very important for us to see that you are enjoying those sessions. Please share the pictures with us. You can also ask your teachers, your principals, if you are doing this coding session in the class. You can also take pictures of the class, and please share with us. It's really important for us to see what you are doing behind the screen. And also, as you can see, there is a share your feedback button. Please take 2 minutes, because This will help us to improve our upcoming coding session. So in case in the upcoming coding session you want to learn something different, so we can create a program for that. But please take 2 minutes to send the feedback. It's just gonna take you to answer 2-3 questions, but it is important for us. Please students, take 2 minutes for it. And as you can see, there is the certificate which appears with your name, your first name and last name, and all you need to do is click on the download my certificate button, which is here exactly. Raja is showing on the screen. So once you click on the button, you will be having your certificate available. Another thing super important, I ask Raja to go back on the slides. Thank
Yes.
you.
I saw a few questions about the pictures. So the pictures, we ask you to send us our pictures of you holding your certificate or you coding. And if you are in a class, your teacher can send us a picture with the about the class. So just to answer the question,
Exactly.
now we'll go back. Yeah.
Exactly. So, Raja, maybe you can share the slide. So, last thing, students, please listen to us. You can also share the pictures with us holding the certificate or coding in the class or alone directly by email on codeathome@emma.org. We are putting the email address in the chat. Please use this email address to share pictures, but also use this email address if you have any question or if you want us to correct your code, if there is any problem in the code. You can also share the code by email to us with the picture of the code or whatever, however you want to share it. Please use the email address codeathome@emma.org to share with us your pictures. And many students share with us the code and pictures, so I want to say thank you to them, because once we got the picture we share it, but once we got the code which is not working, we correct it also for you. We correct it to you and we send it to you. And also, the last thing I want to say is, please students, don't forget to follow our YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel of E-mma, on which this live is going on, because there is going to be other coding session next week after, etc, etc. So you will be aware of the upcoming coding live going on the E-mma YouTube channel. Please subscribe the E-mma YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. All the students watching us, please go on the subscribe button and please click on subscribe this channel. Also, kids who want to subscribe to the upcoming coding session, so don't forget to download the Code at Home app on your Google Play Store or your App Store. So you can directly, by scanning the QR code you seeing on the screen, you can directly have the application on your phone. So to have the application, you can also access by codeathome.app/download. But you can also subscribe to the upcoming coding session from our website directly. So www.emma.org/code at home. And so directly you can subscribe to the coding session. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, to subscribe from the app to the upcoming coding session, or directly subscribe to the coding session, upcoming coding session from the YouTube, from our website. And don't forget to follow us on the social networks, as you can see, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we will be happy to have you with us on the upcoming coding session. So please, again, students, don't forget to subscribe the YouTube channel. And don't forget also that this session will be available on our YouTube channel in replay, so you can watch it even after. So do not worry. And thank you so much, students, for being here and for attending this coding session. We are so happy to welcome you every time. You are really great and really working hard. So thank you. And don't forget to come to the next session and subscribe to the YouTube link and send your pictures. Thank you, students. Thank you so much. We will be ending this session in few minutes, so in the meantime, please send pictures, download the app, subscribe the channel, and subscribe to the upcoming coding session. Thank you, students. We're looking forward to meet you in few days.